more, right? Because I think at the end of the day, Web3 is here to stay. I'm 100% Web3 is here to stay. If not, I would cut my dick off, right? I think this is definitely here to stay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
GM, welcome to the GM show. I'm bringing you the ABCs of the show. It's Asia focused, builder friendly, and cool vibes only, powered by Memeland, the home of Captain's Potatoes, MVP, and Steakland. And my name is Karen, and I'm your co-host. Hi, Casey.
Hey, how's it going, Karen? You know that we love to talk to founders and creators, so we're very excited to be able to bring this show to you live from the GM Show studios in Hong Kong, where each week we chat to the most exciting builders in the Web3 space.
Yep, show off some emoji love on X, YouTube, and Twitch, where we're broadcasting live so you can see our faces, or you can listen to X Spaces audio-only version. So there are different ways that you can enjoy the show.
Yeah. And now, let's hear a quick word from our chairman before we begin the show.
What is discussed on the GM show is not investment advice. We may or may not have ownership interests in the projects we are talking about, but this is not investment advice in any way, shape, or form. And this is not Sir David Attenborough.
Right.
All
okay,
right.
So today we're going to be talking about marketplaces. I guess this is a big story. There's so many different kind of marketplaces out there. We know like Magic Eden started, like we had Magic Eden on before, and they started off as a Solana-based one. So I don't know if you guys know, but there is a Polygon-based NFT marketplace called DEW, D-E-W, and they have been supported a lot of notable partners on their marketing and NFT launches. They raised about $10 million from VCs such as Polygon themselves and Circle. The team is filled with Web3 veterans coming from Tencent, FTX, and Binance. And the DEW Launchpad and studio attracted many traders and whales from other chains to Polygon. They're launching an incubator and Launchpad all-in-one integrated platform. This is a kind of exciting new thing to have Marketplace and Launchpad put together on Polygon. Karen, who is our guest today?
Yep. Today, our guest is very interesting. He was the co-founder of a Canadian food delivery company and partnered with many global brands such as 7-Eleven, and has been acquired by DoorDash in 2018. So after that, he shifted his focus to invest in Web3 technologies, and his last venture was a Web3 gaming company backed by Stack Venture, from which he departed due to internal conflicts. And after that, in 2023, he embarked on building DEW. So welcome to the GM show, the co-founder of DEW, Kang. Hello, Kang.
Hello. Hey, Karen. Good to see.
GM. How's it going, Kang?
Very good. It's evening on my side. It's morning on our side.
Amazing. It looks pretty bright outside there.
Yeah.
You're in Canada right now, which is amazing to hear. But you have an Asia background. We're very interested to know more about DEW. We're going to do our 20 questions in a minute, but I have a quick question. As an accelerator and a launch pad, a lot of people tune into our show to kind of learn from other Web3 builders, but you must have a lot of experience. I'm looking at the Do Launchpad. You've launched a ton of NFT projects. So kind of the first question for you is, what are some good tips and tricks for creators that want to launch an NFT collection in 2024?
That's a really good question. To be honest, in 2021, 2022, or even 2023, the typical narrative is, a lot of projects, they wanted to launch a collection because they want to raise some money, and also, by using this money to build their teams or start to build their product. But in 2024, the whole narrative is completely shifted because the NFT space doesn't have enough money, right? So that's why we started to seeing a lot of gaming projects to basically most of these payments is dead, right? So most of this gaming projects, they started to do free mint plus token airdrop. So recently we've seen a huge demand. There are a lot of founders, a lot of creators, they want to build something on Polygon. They want to release a payment. Especially there are pretty good amount of the Asian companies, like Web2 brands, like really giant brands. They want to launch a payment collection on Polygon. But the bad thing is they wanted to raise $2 to $3 million through the mint. And most of the time, not most of the time, all of the times I'll convince them to something like it is impossible, because the market is the entire market can't handle the millions of dollars mint, right? Especially on Polygon. So the feeling the feeling they gave to me is really disappointed, right? It feels like they don't understand why they can't sell $2 million NFT collection while their parent company are making millions or billions of dollars revenue. So I think the most important tip that I can I can share with most of the founders is right now, it is not timing to release an payment collection. More focus on the building a product and raise money from the VCs, right? And making money from the product itself, right? So instead of raise money to build a product or start to brainstorm what they can do next, this kind of a narrative is not impossible to survive in the year of 2023. Even the bull market just got started.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's just get on to the interview right now. We asked the same 20 questions to each week's guest to get some insight into their day-to-day life, what inspires them, and what lessons can they pass on to the next generation in Web3. So Karen, what's the first question?
Yep, let's do the warm-up. So the first question is, what's the one app you have on your phone that not many people do?
I think there is an app. I've used it for pretty good amount of time back to 2021, but right now I don't think many people have it, which is the game called Step-In. Okay,
You're on the wrong show. Everybody, Web3 show, most everybody does. But okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, the point is a lot of people, they don't play Step-In anymore, right?
Oh, okay.
I don't do it too, right? But point is I never delete it because I still constantly tracking the performance. I was pretty good loyal player. Okay, I was spending pretty good amount of time. I think 1 to 2 hours per day back to 2022, early 2022, right? And I made a pretty good amount of the profit. And I mean, you can imagine how the story ended up. I lost everything, and again, so I still keeping the app. And to be honest, I learned a lot from this app, from this company.
That's great.
Yeah, a lot of good experience, a lot of things. For instance, how we can build a product and how we can build a community. So I lost the money, but I learned a very good lesson from Step-In and the team behind it. Yeah.
And you're reminded by that lesson every time you look at your phone because the app is just staring at you still. You don't open it. Yeah, you don't open it, but you're like, there it is. Yeah, I like that.
There it is.
I keep a couple apps on there. I never open them. I'm just like, yeah, this is a cool app, but I don't know. I don't use it. All right. Next question is, what is the book you've given most as a gift and why?
To be honest, I'm close to 30, and no one ever gifted me a book. Okay, but constantly I buy books for myself. Most of the time I read like a biography books. So for instance, the books about like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, like how they started the business. And I'm pretty enjoyed in this kind of stories because now since I'm a serial entrepreneur, right? I build like a lot of tech companies, Web3 game companies. When I read all of these stories, like these experiences really can inspire me about what kind of a product I want to build in the future and how I can, especially how I should manage my own team. So I'm really enjoying in this books, these stories. But since I'm really busy recently, so I I didn't really have time to like really spend too much time reading the book. Yeah.
Okay. So next question is, what is something that has greatly influenced your life? So it could be a book that you mentioned, or a person, or a movie.
I'll say the managing partner from Stacks Venture, Trevor. I'm not sure if you guys know him, but he's Stacks Venture is the first accelerator I joined. And to be honest, I've joined a lot of different accelerators during the past, I think 5 to 10 years, and this is the only accelerator that really taught us like how to raise like capital from global VCs, and also like how we should manage our teams, how the lean startup works, right? And personally, he is really good person. He will spend a lot of time to teach us like why your idea doesn't work, right? Why, like, and also he'll give us some solutions like how you should pivot your idea, how you should pivot your business. So I really love him. He spent so much time to teach me like how to build like a Web3 startup, because in a Web2 company, like building a Web2 company and building a Web3 company is completely different concept, different marketing strategies, and also the different audiences. Yeah.
You're talking about Trevor Owens?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, next question is, besides your smartphone, what is the one gadget or product in your life that makes it better? So it could be usually non-computer related, but some people say AirPods, but it could be a bike, it could be shoes, it could be something like that.
I mean, in 2024, without a doubt, ChatGPT, it changed everyone's life, right? I mean, sometimes when we having some meetings with global like for instance like Japanese clients, right? I'll always use ChatGPT to translate some words or translate some sentences, right? And also it helps me with the writing. Every time when I write like a thread or writing a notes, it'll help me to correct my I'll say like my grammar, making it looks more professional, right? It changed my whole life. It just it's amazing.
Yep, great.
Yeah, it changed a lot of people's life. The next question is getting a little bit more personal. When you look back, like what was an early job you had that you learned an important lesson from? It could be like before, the food delivery company.
I think there are two jobs. Two jobs changing my whole personality, and also the way I do stuff. So first, the job is when I was in high school. That was the server. I was working at a restaurant in Manitoba. Back to the day, I'm a really a shy person. I don't feel comfortable to talk to people, to talk to some strangers. So, but since I'm working as server, right, I have to make money, like make tips by talking to people, and also to chatting with some people, making them feel comfortable. So I've spent I think 2 to 3 years in this position, and it really changed my life. I started to become like outgoing. I started to be able to chat with strangers, and I can spend like a little bit of time to get to know like a lot of persons, like a background, to know their personality. So my speaking skills has been improved a lot in 2 years. And then the second job is a energy sales, a part-time energy sales position when I just came to Calgary. And basically, it's a door-to-door sales job. I have to knock the door and pitch our like a sales package to every household. And it's really tough in the beginning because you have to find a lot of skills to convince people to switch their energy plan to your companies. And it's really tough for a person like me because I don't know how. I literally didn't have any skills. I didn't have any experience like to start like a strange conversation and to get to know their household info. But a lot of people taught me about those skills, and it's really getting really good because this kind of jobs really taught me like how to do sales pitch, how you should generate a very good how you become like close friend in about a few minutes, right? Yeah. So this kind of like confidence and like a pitch skills helped me to build my future startups.
Yeah,
that's funny because
that's
like
great.
A lot of builders that came on the show also had door-to-door salesman experience.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cold calling. I think that also helped a lot of builders like had the experience of like communicating with people. I think that's really interesting.
Indeed. Right. I think the communication is essential to if you want to build any like startups, right? Because in the end you have to communicate with. Basically, you have to sell your product to the users, to the VCs, right, to your friends. So everything is about sales, right? If you don't know any knowledge, any skills about sales, then how you can build a product?
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question. What does a normal day look like for you? What's your daily routine? So, like, what time do you get up? What time do you have lunch? Do you go for exercise? Like, basically, what is a typical day of Kang as working at Do?
Personally, I have a lot of different positions. A BD, mode, a manager. I do a lot of stuff. So normally, my first meeting is starting at 6 a.m. Because a lot of our clients or potential partners based in the world, right? So especially some of clients are based in Asia, so we need to start to take some calls with them in the early morning. And it's between 6 a.m. 6 a.m. to about 12 or 11 a.m. is going to be the first shift, and then I go grab some food for the lunch. I walk my dog right after, then start my second shift from about 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then dinner, and then my daughter come home. My daughter come home, and then starts my third shift from about 7 p.m. to 11 or 12 p.m. So normally I work about 12 hours a day. Yeah.
Wow.
And all of the meetings, through the day.
Yep, that sounds like a builder's life. So the next question is, what is an unusual habit that you have?
Unusual habit. This is a tough question. I don't think I have any unusual habit. Let me ask you a question. What is your unusual habit?
What Casey, what's your unusual habit?
That's a great way to not answer the question. Just turn it on the host. Turn it on the host. Yeah, because it is a weird question. It's something because I think people do things and they don't think it's unusual, right? Because it's just like somebody says I don't think it's unusual, and then it's very unusual because their normal, their level of unusual is different than everybody else's. Mm-hmm. You know what? I've never even thought about this question either. We're asking these questions. I never thought about answering them ourselves. But yeah, how about you, Karen? Do you have an answer to that?
I have some questionable YouTube videos that I enjoy for sure. Like
that's not an unusual habit. That's not a habit. Would you say that's a habit? I think it's more like maybe you like to I don't know, walk your dog in the garage rather than going on the street or something like that where it's very specific. I think we all watch a weird YouTube video. All right, never mind. We'll figure out this one. And Karen, we will have an answer for everybody next time somebody asks us this question.
We should do 20 questions with ourselves one time.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. So we have the answer for that because that's true. So thank you for Kang for making us think about this too. Okay, the next question. Let's move on to what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life? So a lot of people took up new things during the pandemic, baking bread, jogging, playing more video games, things like that. How about yourself?
Two things. First thing is I stopped playing games. That saved me a lot of time. And secondly, since it saved me a lot of time, I started to work out, build my body since the pandemic. So I don't know, you believe or not, my lowest weight was, I think, 45 kilogram.
Wow.
During the pandemic as a man, right? It's really skinny. And I realized like it can be habit, right? Like it's even harder for me to attend some conference as a speaker because it looks weird, right? So I started to build my body. Although right now like I'm still look skinny, but I've gained about 10 kilogram in about like one less than 1 year. Yeah, wow. And it's still growing. Yeah, so I think this kind of habit really changed my life. Before I really started to work out, I always believe, I don't have time. I'm too busy, right? I can't do this, I can't do that. But when you are getting used to something, you start to feel like, nothing's impossible, right? All of these are excuses that you don't want to do something. Right? Yeah. So I think this is something like it's really changed after the pandemic.
Okay, cool.
Great. When you feel overwhelmed, though, what do you do and how do you relax?
I go walk my dog every time. Every time. Although it's my daily routine, but every time when I feel overwhelmed, I just bring him outside and I start, half an hour or an hour walk. And during the walk, I start to refresh my brain and also rethink the whole plan. And it always helps me, yeah, because during the walk, it's really peaceful, right? No one is going to talk to you during the walk, and I can really focus on okay, so right now here's a problem, or here's like what's happening, like how should I solve the problem, and what's the next plan? Yeah. So most of the time, it's amazing, and most of the time I can think of some solutions during the like 30 minutes walk. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Dog love it.
And also I have a husky, so if you're a husky owner, you have to work like so much time. Yeah.
That's all right.
Work.
Next question. Here we go into the deep therapy questions. What is one failure you experienced and how did you overcome it?
I'll say during my university, I started to invest in stocks, but not just normally trading like buying and sell stocks. I'm really into some high risky options, right? So I've spent my entire savings, I think $20,000 or like $50,000, like all into the options. I thought I learned something, and also like because I was young, inexperienced, I thought I can make like millions of dollars. But the truth is, I faced a lot of up and down. So sometimes I sold early, and I could have made like $100,000 or even like $200,000, but I couldn't because I sold early. And sometimes there were a lot of ups and downs. So eventually I lost everything. It was really overwhelmed because I lost all my savings. I could have used this money to buy something like, for example, a nice car, right? But it took me like really long time, like a few months to realize this is a very good journey, because after that I stopped to touch those like high risky products or options. I'm becoming a more conservative person. Still, like I love some like high risky products, but I wouldn't spend like all of my savings into this kind of a products. So yeah, so I think this kind of experience really taught me like how to manage your portfolio, how to have a understanding about like risk management.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that leads to the next question, because I'm really curious then, after that, what is the best investment you've ever made? And
Great segue. Love it.
yeah, because I mean, after that, it's hard to recover, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Building your own company, I'll say.
Yeah.
So the best investment is invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So investing like in the experiences. I've had some of the companies are quite successful, and also I've had many like failed ideas. I think all of these failed ideas are the experience that will lead you to the success in the future. Right. So I'm really grateful for all of this, like failed like investment or failed businesses. Yeah. So far, I think my best investment is due, because I put all my experiences, all my knowledges into this company, and yes, we've got like a lot of believers, a lot of investors, right? So I think it is the best investment at the moment for myself.
Yep.
So your first business is the food delivery company, or is there something else before that?
It's a food delivery company.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty successful after you launched your first business and it got acquired.
It depends how you think about it, right? If it is multi-billion acquisition, well, yes, it is, right? But it is not. So I mean, our investors are able to exit the company, and like we're being acquired by DoorDash, but I'm not financial freedom.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. Yeah.
But still, it's good. You didn't lose money. That's the main thing.
Well, I mean, all our investors made pretty good money. So
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is: besides Trevor, who is someone you look up to, and what is your favorite quote from him or her? So you read the Steve Jobs book, you read the Elon Musk book. I don't know if those are some people that have great quotes and people you look up to, but who's somebody you look up to, and like what's something they say that you're like, yeah, I really resonate with that.
Still, Elon Musk. So his first principle is really important. It really inspired a lot of builders, but sadly, this theory, we can't really implement this kind of theory in the Web3 space, right? Because a lot of the people are focusing on the short-term, profit instead of like a long-term like visions. So, but still, I mean, sooner or later, like we still need to focus on the like real product, like how we can really changing the world by using Web3 technology. So this is something we need to implement for all the Web3 products. Yeah.
Okay. So here goes my favorite question is, what is one conventional wisdom that you disagree with? And I think like usually growing up as an Asian, you hear a lot of conventional wisdom that your parents told you. So what are something that you completely disagree?
Have you guys thought about this question? Well, I want to throw back to you as well.
There's a lot of builders said like work-life balance is a lie because you don't need it if you love what you're doing, especially and you're a builder, you're living that lifestyle, right? So I think that's pretty interesting. I also believe in that. But what's your take?
I think it's gonna be about building. So I mean, a lot of not I won't say like a wisdom, but so a lot of the VCs, a lot of people they're saying, you need to have a very good product first, then your business will be successful. A lot of VCs told me that, but the reality is it is not. A lot of like really good builders, and they have an amazing product, and potentially they could change the world. But the reality is, you need to have a really good marketing strategy along with a good product, or maybe the product is not good enough, right? But you have very good strategy, so you still are able to compete with other competitors in the market, right? So I think I'm kind of disagree with like a product first at some stages. I'm kind of a believer of marketing is the most important thing in the beginning, and then you can. I mean, sometimes the product can be really shitty, but you can when you have enough users, you can constantly pivot the idea, pivot the product. Yeah.
What's some of the marketing tips you can give to a project that is first started off?
For the Web2, I mean, like it's since we're in the Web3, right? So for the Web3 founders, I'll say start to pitch to some influencers first instead of like the individuals, like small individuals, because those influencers are like whales. They can really help you in the like marketing, and also most of them they have their own communities, right? So as long as you can acquire them, then that means you are acquiring their communities to support you. Yeah. So partnering with these people is the most important thing, but doesn't mean you have to pay them tons of money, right, to endorse your project publicly. It just doesn't work in the Web3 space. So you need to pitch them, making them become your loyal user or like loyal believer, right? If no one is believing in your product, then okay, so it's a time for you to pivot your idea.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so then from there, that's a VC's usual bad advice. What is one piece of advice you would give to a first-time founder in Web3? Let's specifically talk about that, since you've just is still good, and a lot of people still want to get into Web3. But what is one piece of advice you would want to give to somebody starting out?
There are so many founders are really obsessed with the technology they're building.
Technology, yeah.
A lot. A lot of them, they're thinking, I mean, they're more like engineers or like a technical person, right? So they really believe that like their product can change the world, can change the space, can, sometimes people are telling me, oh, our product is gonna change the history. But the reality is not, right? There are a lot of the people building exactly the same thing over and over, right? So again, I think it's more, it's the same thing to the Web2 space, right? Like you need to build an MVP and test the market. Again, so talk to those like influencers, pitch ideas to VCs, whales to see their reactions, right? And then you spend like more time on the product to polish your product, right? So don't get it, don't get into the rabbit hole, right? Don't spend way too much time to polish your product before you can find a market fit.
100%. Love that.
Great. So that leads to what's the worst piece of advice you ever received? Is it from a team member? Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah, it could be from your parents. Usually parents have a lot of bad advice.
Yeah, there are a lot. If you're talking about parents, a lot of Asian parents, they want us to be conservative, right? Like, oh, you shouldn't do that. This is too risky, right? So yeah, I mean, like, but to be honest, my parents are very supportive to me. Like they're whatever the decision I make, they're just be like, just try it.
Wow.
And to be honest, I've never received bad advices at a moment. So most of my partners, my mentors are really supportive, and I think I'm a person more like a quick learner. So most of the times I know my weaknesses. So that's why most of the people's advice really helpful to me, because and I know how I can adapt this advice and you implement it to my existing idea or existing startup. Yeah. So no, I've never received any bad advice. Yeah.
Okay.
That's great to hear. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Well, we know the answer to this one, but it's Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk, and why?
Maybe Jeff.
No Jeff. No Jeff. He,
No Jeff.
he lost his face, right? He started to, he started to retire. But yeah, so right now, back to the days, Steve Jobs, of course, right? He changed everyone's life. But right now, Elon Musk, because of this, the Tesla, this technology that he's building is really changing everyone's life. I'm a true believer of. I'm his fans. Okay, so I'm also investing in Tesla stocks. I have a Tesla, so I think everything that he's building is changing everyone's life. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question about this? Because it's interesting, great. Because right now, Elon Musk, the man, and him personally, he's getting in a lot of trouble, right? How do you separate, you personally, how do you separate the stuff that he's built that's great, that we love, and then this other side of him, which is getting a lot of, haters attacking him all the time about, like, because this is also a good question for yourself, right? It's going forward. You'll build a great product, but maybe you might say something weird and people freak out, right?
No one is perfect, right? So sometimes a person is really good at the business side, but his personal life is really chaos, right? There's no way to separate, because of the companies that he's building is really tied up with his own reputation. Whatever he's doing wrong will really fucked up his his business, right? So there's no way to separate Tesla and his personal reputation. But whatever comes, I think the market will just recover immediately. We've seen that before, right? I don't know. I've seen like a lot of bad news about him, and a lot of people was dumping the Tesla stocks. But sooner or later, the price is coming back, right? So I think that this is just the nature of the business.
Yeah, business trumps all personal problems, right? At the end of the day, what his achievement can still beat negative press and stuff like that, right? Yeah,
exactly. And in the end, it's all about like how much we're benefiting from his.
And it's not just him.
business.
That's another thing people don't understand, right? Tesla, how many thousands of people work there?
There are so many.
SpaceX,
genius.
how many people work there?
Yeah,
how many people work at X? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get into the Web3 stuff. So, going back to day one, what got you into Web3? So, is it after the food delivery company, or you already investing in crypto?
Somebody tried to pay him in crypto. He's like, "What is this? I'm in. I'm in.
I want to pay a Bitcoin for a pizza."
Yeah.
Actually, it's still because of a step-in. One of my business partner, he was endorsing a step-in to me for I think many weeks. He was like, "Hey, I've made like a few $1,000 on step-in. Come check it out." He's constantly endorsing step-in on WeChat. So it is really interesting, right? Like when you see someone making like thousands of dollars every day, it was like, oh, what is that, right? And you start to check it out and start to see and paying attention to that. And the reality is, yes, a lot of people made a good money, and the app is not very UI and UX friendly. So I don't like the first minute I see this app was like, oh, what the fuck it is. But when you are starting to making money from this, you're becoming like addicted to it, right? So so this app is really got me into the Web3, and it started to making me browsing around, like exploring the Web3 space. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, then from there, what was your first NFT that you bought? What did you learn from buying it, and do you still own it?
Shoes. Step and shoes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
wow.
That's the first NFT. Yeah. And of course, I don't know. I dumped all of these. Yeah. I've made like $100 back. Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah. Amazing.
Wow. So you learn a lot of stuff, like I guess, like from it. So here's the question that I think a lot of people are waiting for: What are you working on right now? Why now? Why you? Can you tell us about your origin path, mint, and what's going on?
Mhm. So Do launched in early last year. So when we were on Polygon, we didn't really have any like too many pro traders, too many like blue chip NFTs, right? So most
Yeah.
of people are just saying, oh, like like they Polygon has a Starbucks, Nike, but that's it, right? It's not like really
Yeah.
like Web3 native products.
Yeah.
So after we're launching on Polygon, we start to realize we need to spend more time to incubate projects instead of waiting them to come over to build something on Polygon, right? And as we are an NFT marketplace, we need more like blue chips that for users to trade, right? So yeah, so that's how we started Do Studio, and since Polygon is one of our investors, we're working really closely with them about how we can grow Polygon NFT ecosystem, like what we can do, how we can, and what kind of offers we have to give to the projects. So after we launching Do Studio and announcing Do Pass, we've seen a tremendous interest from different creators. For instance, like we've launched like Asset World, raised $3 million from Pantera, Coinbase, Venture, Spartan, and there is a really good gaming studio, Moonville, raised like $4 million from Gumi Capital and the Crafton Studio. So a lot of Web3 gaming projects start to paying attention to Polygon, and they start to build on Polygon. Oh, and as well as Gas Hero, right? The product, the stuff, I think it's Steppen team is behind the Gas Hero. Yeah, so we've seen like this kind of a momentum right now on Polygon, and especially Polygon is building their own CDK chain, immutable OKXX layer. So with all of these resources, we can see there will be more gaming projects, more like Web2 brands will come into Polygon. So I think as long as we can constantly building like in Polygon ecosystem, Do will be the biggest beneficiary in the space. Because I mean, we've been partnering with a lot of Web2 brands already, but we can, as we know, like there are a lot of companies having made a decision to build on Polygon, and there will be more projects gonna making announcement as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And so, what is this? You're minting something next week.
Yep. Next week, it's our we call this Do Origin Pass. Basically, we as you may know, like we are Do Studio is the premium launchpad and incubator. So we are going to bring on a lot of high-profile projects and helping them on the marketing, on the fundraising. So the key benefit for the pass holders is since we're going to help those projects to grow to mint the NFT collection, they will allocate a part of the tokens to the like NFT holders, the pass holders, right? So think about this, it's more like a golden ticket that you can constantly earn passive incomes through the this incubator. Yeah.
Okay. So how do I get it? I mean, how do we get it?
Oh wow. Yeah. So it's really simple. So right now there are two ways. One is finishing the complete some quests on Sesame Labs on Do. Retweet on all of the like increased engagement, we'll get like one of the unrevealed fragment. And as long as you can collect all 9 different fragments, you will receive a Do list. Or alternatively, you can trade on Do, and every certain amount of the trading volume will be converted a unrevealed fragment. And every Monday, you are able to reveal the fragment to one of the 9 types of the fragments. Yeah,
It's too late to do that now, isn't it?
It is not. So it depends on your trading activity.
How much trading you're gonna do by then? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't disclose, right? But if you are really into this, you can start to trading. I don't think it's too late. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Great.
you can still have about a week to try your best to grind one. Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds good. Okay. Oh, Karen.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. here's the last question for you, Kang. You know, a lot of Web3 founders are always under fire from traditional media about Web3. Probably your friends and family as well. When you go home for dinners and stuff like that, people are always asking you about Bitcoin and stuff, right? So what is one misconception about Web3 that you would personally like to change?
A lot of my friends or family members thinks Web3 is really like a high risky industry, right? Because we've seen a lot of newsletters or news saying like, oh, X founders has been arrested in US, right? But actually it's a really rare case. There are some good things and bad things behind it, right? Good thing is the government started to regulating this kind of a business, and I believe the whole purpose is they are trying to make sure the industry is regulated, and also they want to they're trying to protect their citizens' funds, right?
Yeah.
But bad thing is there are some problems for some founders, right, at the moment. So I don't think there's anything we need to change at the moment, but it's more like we just need to wait and see like what's going to happen in the future, right? Because as long as we are getting regulated, there will be more legitimate money coming into the space, and this is the only way we can grow, right? Because after a Bitcoin ETF got approved, we've seen how much money is flowing into BTC, right? Yeah. And what if China is going to unban the Bitcoin? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy amount of money.
What are you hearing? You hearing something about that?
No, I mean in the short term it's impossible. Okay,
you're saying,
I'm just saying
it's a what if in long terms. Okay.
Yeah, what if, right? That's not like like $1 billion dollars, right? It's
right.
Endless with the money coming to the space, right? So I mean sooner or later we'll see one Bitcoin worth $1 million, right? Yeah, it's gonna be a generation wealth for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you again for coming to the show today, Kang. I want to know if you're coming to any events in Asia this year so we can hit you up.
Our team members will attend the KBW, and I think some of them will attend Hong Kong events. But personally, I'm more focused on the North America events, like GDC that I just came back from San Francisco, which is amazing. Yeah.
Great.
Tell us a bit about GDC. What did you see there? I saw an Avalanche booth that had Web3 gaming is dead or something like that.
Web3 gaming sucks.
Yeah, Web3 gaming sucks.
Yeah, it's really a good banner. I love it. The most important thing that when I was seeing the GDC is I had a chance to speak with Immutable team and also Polygon core teams about what we can do in the future and how we can grow the NFT ecosystem. And obviously, every one of these team members are having clear picture about how we can grow the NFT ecosystem in general, right? How we can onboard like more high-profile gaming projects. So it gives me huge confidence that we must have to catch up this trend. And that's awesome. I think a lot of founders need to start to paying more attention to Polygon, especially Immutable, if you are building a game. Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kang, for joining us today. Don't forget to follow us at GM Show Official, Memeland, Stakeland, and our co-hosts and our guests. We'll see you again next week.
Yeah. Thanks, Kang. Good luck with the mint.
Yeah. Thank you so much.